So what up, guys? I went down the rabbit hole on YouTube, and I've been watching things from a lot of people that I respect that have qualifications, backgrounds, whatever you want to say, that make them more or less experts, right? Like, what makes you a professional is you get paid to do something, right? You're a mechanic. You get paid to fix a car. Well, now you're a professional mechanic. Whether or not you've got a school or training or whatever you want to say, that's what you are. You're professional. You get paid to do a job, right? Baseball players, high school, college, semi-pro, not necessarily minor leagues, but semi-pro. They're all guys who play ball for fun, right? Professional, whether you're single A, double A, triple A, pro ball, you're getting paid to do that job. You're a professional. But I hear some of these people talk about things like attributes and this and that and the other thing. And one of the big things that comes up is courage, right? Um, Excuse me. I may edit that out, I may not. But courage. I keep hearing courage being brought up as something that you just have to have. Um, Maybe, but courage is one of those things that's hard to define and hard to describe, and it depends on the type of courage. I mean, yeah, obviously if you're going and kicking in doors, uh bad guys doors, whether it be here in Afghanistan, Iraq, you know some buffalo country that nobody's ever heard of, that nobody ever will. Oh yeah, but that takes a lot more than just courage. I mean, if they're putting you out there, right, to do these things, and most of this has been said, right? Like confidence plays in it. Um, you have to be trained. Obviously, you're not going to send somebody out there to fix your, you know, whatever vehicle you have, whether it be your Toyota Corolla, your GMC Sierra, your Corvette, you know, your Maserati, nobody is going to send these people out there. Excuse me. Nobody is going to pay somebody to fix that. Like I know for a fact, if I had a car that cost over, say, $10,000, I'm not going to let my homeboy fix anything on it. If it cost me 10 grand, I'm going to take it to somebody. The only way my homeboy's going to fix it is like it's a part that I can buy fractions on the dollar. Um, and he's going to do it for free, right? 12 pack of beer, whatever. Yo, then maybe you'll get to fix it. But when it comes to defending your home and family, it's real hard when you talk about this courage thing because I hear people talking about it when you're in public, and let's say, for instance, an active shooter, right? Some crazy decides he's shooting up the Walmart or your church or your restaurant that you're eating in or your job, wherever you may be. But some crazy person, and they have to be crazy to go in there and want to cause all of the individuals in said establishment violence. They've got to be crazy. Um, I don't know the technical term for what people use for that, so we're just going to call them crazy. Now let's say you're carrying a gun, right? Now they say you carry a gun for self-defense. There's nothing wrong with that.
Bravo 6, going dark.
As a matter of fact, that's a given right. If you want to...
Welcome back. This is episode 2 about building fighter mindset.
If you want to shoot back.
Some of the general stuff. Today I want to talk about more.
And here's the proposition I pose, right?
Rage
Okay.
can be very helpful on a battlefield, and I dare say even.
First off, let me start this with, if you are getting robbed,
Conjuring up rage or fury
first step in,
is just that.
comply.
To actually
Give this crazy person whatever they want, right? Like if you didn't see them coming, they got the jump on you. You were there. There's a gun in your face. There's a knife to your throat. Whatever the situation is, it is deadly for you. First off, just comply. Give them your wallet. Give them your cell phone. Give them your keys. Give them whatever.
conjuring up rage.
Generally, you upstanding citizens, you have insurance to cover most of these things, right? Like everybody should have car insurance. I understand this shit's crazy now. People don't want to pay these prices, but the majority of us do, right? Your bank, right? They leave, you call them. Oh, they took my cell phone. They got a 1-800 number, right? Roll down the street to a local business, to a library, ask the cop. Cops' cars, and anywhere other than Podunk, USA, they'll have some sort of internet connection, or they can get a hold of dispatch who can get you a phone number and say, hey, please let me call before these people jack me because my rent is due, or my this is due, or that is due. I don't need them jacking my money. You know, so if the jump has been made on you, just comply. Give them what they want. Obviously, if they're going to rape you, fight. Fight ladies. Fight men. Men. Sometimes y'all get raped too. There are nowhere near as many of the amount of rapes that are posted that actually happen. And I understand. It makes you feel some sort of way. It makes women feel some sort of way. Women, I'm not neglecting you. I'm not saying anything. It's just you have historically had an easier time telling people I've been raped. And the amount of restricted and unrestricted reports of rape are ridiculous. So just for you people who don't know, unrestricted is basically, and this is strictly coming from a military point of view as far as the numbers that we have seen. I could probably bring you up some national statistics. I'm not going to get into all that, but it is about 20% of all women who are sexually assaulted. I'm not going to say rape, but sexually assaulted are unrestricted reports. And these are just the ones that are reported. It is about 2% of men. 2%. So it does happen. But anyway, once it becomes physical harm to you or your family, fight. I would love to tell you. And there are people out there who are going to tell you, you know, it is your, not necessarily right, but your responsibility to defend people, right? So if you're a responsibly armed citizen, it is your responsibility to defend people. That's a double-edged sword. Yes. If you have the means and you have the avenues, defend away. But if you're at Walmart, if you're at Kroger, or you're at Whole Foods or whatever, you know, you're at the mall, and there's some crazy asshole in there with an AK-47 or a shotgun or something, and he's just capping people, and you've got two small kids,
become incensed.
I don't want to tell you not to defend. If you feel some higher power urging you to draw your firearm and go cap that motherfucker, by all means. If you've had some training and whatnot, do work, mama. Do work, papa. You do what you do. If you are scared and you have small people, you have friends, they don't have to be small, they can be your friends. Your first should be let's get them safe, right? Let's get the people I care about safe. Then, if you make a logical decision,
Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of Building
I need to
Mindset.
stop
As
this
we said
individual.
before, there's lots of stuff,
Then
information
do
you
it.
can get on becoming a better protector through games and fitness.
And I'm not telling you to be selfish or anything,
It's out there.
because obviously if you're by yourself,
Finding guns and knives, that's all out there. Mindset's more
I mean, first off, make a 911 call.
And it's very rarely discussed.
Second,
So the topic I'm talking about today is part 3.
and I don't want to seem like one of those guys, I don't want to tell you it's your responsibility, but if you have the means,
we're talking about other issues that you need to look
you
up
should attempt to help.
here or whatever else like that.
But,
Check out
caveat,
deal this in turn, okay?
do
So,
not,
to kind of segue into what we're gonna
let's say
talk
you
about
shoot
today,
paper
let's start
targets
with
all
the
day, right?
that everybody
You punching holes,
some of those.
quarter size in a target,
In the old Terminator movie,
5, 10, 15 yards.
Connor, who is grieving the loss of his mom.
I wouldn't recommend shooting that person across the mall, because what if there's just some random individual that's just left of your target and you happen to overcompensate? Now that round has hit somebody. You are responsible for those. And this is nothing to discourage anybody. It's just some logical thinking. I hear all these internet cowboys, and if people watch this and they get gung-ho and they think, yeah, fuck, I'm gonna go, be Batman or whatever. And yet again, I'm not discouraging anybody. I just want you to fully understand and comprehend, right? And so now we got off the courage thing, right? So we'll go back to, we'll be at the mall, you're with your buddies. Courage could be the courage to get your friends in their right mind to get the fuck out of Dodge. Courage doesn't have to be, let's go back and cap this motherfucker, right? That don't have to be courage. Courage is, hey, I grab my friends, I grab the soccer mom with the kids, I grab this fucking dad over here, I got grandpa on a wheelchair, I got grandma on a rocker, and I'm getting them all the fuck out of Dodge, right? That is courage in its own. Adrenaline literally gives you a fight or flight response, right? Your adrenaline pumps, your mind goes to its most primitive state, and it is get in or get out, right? In or out. That is it. Courage is one of those things, and it's not always courage. There are some people who have just that blank mind, who when all hell's breaking loose, they just don't care. They're not necessarily courageous. They just don't care. Maybe they grew up in some crazy violence, or maybe their body produces a hormone. I don't know what it is, but I have literally seen people who just sit there and eat a sandwich, and obviously I've never seen somebody eat a sandwich during a gunfight, but it's those type of people. You would think they would just sit there and have lunch while bombs are blowing up around them, like, hey, nothing's going on. Happens. It's in individuals. But courage is, you don't lock up. And it doesn't have to be a gunfight. It could be a car accident, right? Could be a snow skiing accident. Anything that causes massive amounts of stress to your body and your mind, and you react to do the right thing, right? So you have fought the adrenaline response. You have made a conscious decision to do the right thing. That's courage. It is. It comes in all forms. Moms and dads who have kids playing like tackle football, who see them get lit up and they're like, oh, and they don't yell at the other coach or the kid who hit their kid, right? That takes courage. People say, well, that just takes common sense. Well, yeah, but then you put your kid getting lit up. And if your parents out there, or you're not parents or whatever, and you've never seen your child or a family member, a brother, a sister, a niece, a nephew, a cousin that's really close, just get wrongfully blasted in some sort of sport, whether it be with a tackle in football or a clothesline in basketball, or get suplexed in wrestling, or take a baseball in the head. And to be worried about them and angry is natural, and it takes courage. And now some people, myself included, I do not like confrontation. I'm older now. I'm almost 35. I don't enjoy confrontation anymore. I used to love it when I was younger. I don't like it. It puts me in an awkward position. Generally, one of the two parties gets somewhat heated. It's no fun. Because either I'm getting told I did something wrong, or I'm having to tell somebody they did something wrong, right? Or somebody's telling me that I'm annoying them, or I have to tell somebody they're annoying me. And so, as I'm older, I have to learn where that goes. But courage can also come in that, right? Like, I don't like confrontation. I don't. But when it comes to certain things, you draw a line in the sand, right? You say, this line's not being crossed. When somebody crosses it, it takes courage to approach them. I mean, it could take courage to return some food you get at a fast food restaurant and say, hey, bro, you messed up my food. You know, you go to a restaurant, you order a steak, you order it medium rare, comes back, it's well done. Well, some people will just eat it, right? Okay. Nobody's going to say you're not courageous because you ate that steak. But it does take a small amount of courage to call the waitress over and say, hey, ma'am, hey, sir, the cook cooked my steak wrong. I asked for it medium rare. This is obviously well done. You know, there's levels to everything. So, if you watch these things and you question yourself about, do I have courage? Don't. You can go train your ass off and everything. Everybody has courage somewhere. There are people that will talk to people that nobody else wants to talk to, and that is courageous in its own. Just understand that. There's levels to everything. So don't think for a second that you're not courageous. Everybody's got some courage built in somewhere. You just have to find it. And once you find it once or twice, it becomes easier. So start small. Start at the restaurant. Start with your friends. Tell your friends the truth. That's probably the most courageous thing you could ever do. Tell your friends the truth, whether it hurts their feelings or not. Say, hey bud, you look ridiculous today. Or, That's a dumb decision. Please don't make it. You can still be polite and courageous at the same time. But hey, it's my 2 cents. Peace out.